Good morning to students. Last time we have discussed about the concept of why we need to study the condensed matter physics. Now in the next lecture I am going to deliver a lecture on the basis of solids. First of all we will describe or we will discuss the basic concepts of solid and then we will move to the track on our syllabus. First is solids. To define the solids, first of all, I am discussing about the matter. Matter is, you know very well, that is anything which can occupy space and have weight is known as matter. But matter is broadly divided into many categories. First category of matter is solids. Second one is that is liquid. Third one is that is gas, and a fourth category of material or matter is plasma. After that, there is also another category of solids that is of matter is that is of Bose-Einstein condensate. In case of Bose-Einstein condensate, we take the neutron degenerate states or very well known that is of plasma gluon quark state. We will discuss each of them one by one. First of all, I am coming to the point of solids. You very well know that solids are the materials which have definite shape and definite rigidity. They have perfect volume. Physically, they are very hard. Okay? But in case of solids are further divided into main two categories. First category of solid is crystalline solids. There is crystalline solids, and second category is that is of amorphous solids. When we discuss about the crystalline solids, that means the solids which have definite pattern of arrangement of atoms, molecules और ions, जिसमें एटम्स, मॉलिक्यूल और आयंस का एक डेफिनेट पैटर्न बिछा होगा, जाल बिछा होगा, उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? दैट इज ऑफ क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड्स. And in the case of amorphous solids, there is no any definite shape or you can say definite pattern basically of the atoms, molecules or ions. When we discuss about the constituent particles of any solid, we will definitely say atoms, molecules or ions. These three are the constituent particles of any solid. In case of a crystalline solid, there is a complete network will be remain same. That means एक बार जैसा जाल एटम्स, मॉलिक्यूल्स या आयंस को रखने का बन गया, वही जाल थ्रू आउट द सॉलिड्स रहेगा. क्लियर? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मैं एक एग्जाम्पल इसमें देना चाहूंगा कि अगर सपोज कर लो आपके पास कोई नेटवर्क है, कोई जाली है, एक नेट है, तो उसका एक छोटा सा जो पार्ट है वो आप हर जगह पे देख लो एक ही जितने साइज का ऑलमोस्ट सेम रहेगा. दैट मीन नेटवर्क विल रिमेन सेम थ्रू आउट द सॉलिड्स. दैट इज नोन एज द क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड्स. But in case of amorphous solids, the pattern will not remain always same. There are some places, or you can say there are the small places in which the pattern will remain same. Again, the pattern will goes to change. For example, if I take, let us suppose these are the patterns of any solid in which the small part is like a square. Okay? That means atoms are placed as in the shape of a square. But after some time or after some distance, you can see the pattern will further change. It becomes triangular. That means throughout all over the solid pattern will not remain same. Then it is a category of amorphous solids. Now there are the main examples of crystalline solids are metals, non-metals, and all the compounds are in the category of crystalline solids, but in case of amorphous solids like rubber, plastic, and you can say the synthetic polymers, these are the categories or examples of the amorphous solids. Okay. In case of crystalline solids, there are the totally different properties as compared to the amorphous solids. First and the very important property is of isotropic or anisotropic properties. First of all, I am going to discuss what are the isotropic or anisotropic properties. इसमें एक एग्जांपल देना चाहूँगा, like electrical conductivity, refractive index, or you can say the melting point. Okay, these are main three properties which I am going to discuss for the distinguishing between isotropic and anisotropic phenomena or properties. एक्चुअली में होता क्या है कि जो प्रॉपर्टी डायरेक्शन के चेंज होने से चेंज ना हो उसको हम बोलते हैं आइसोट्रोपिक प्रॉपर्टी. बट द प्रॉपर्टीज विच विल चेंज विद द डायरेक्शंस are known as anisotropic property. Last year in BSc2, you all have performed an experiment of quartz crystal. Quartz crystal के experiment में क्या था कि जैसे direction change हुई then and single ray will divide it into two, ordinary and extraordinary. That means direction में dependency थी property की. तो जैसी डायरेक्शन चेंज हुई तो हमने कहा कि उसकी जो ऑप्टिकल प्रॉपर्टी है वो क्या होगी, चेंज. तो इस तरह के जो क्रिस्टल्स या मटेरियल्स होते हैं उनको हम बोलते हैं एनाइसोट्रोपिक प्रॉपर्टीज. पर सपोज करो मेरे पास एक वैक्स है, ओके, या प्लास्टिक है या ग्लास का कोई पीस पड़ा है, तो उसमें हर तरफ से प्रॉपर्टीज ऑलमोस्ट क्या रहेंगी, सेम, और उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं, आइसोट्रोपिक प्रॉपर्टीज. Crystalline materials are completely anisotropic in nature, but amorphous solids are purely follows the isotropic properties. That means, in case of amorphous solids, by change of the direction, the properties will not change; they remain same. But in case of crystalline solids, with the change in direction, the properties will change. Either it will be an optical property, thermal property, or electrical property, whatever. Why this is so? Okay, the question is in the mind, why is it happening? The point is that the atoms, molecules, or you can say the network, in case of crystalline solids, will remain same in all the directions. But in case of amorphous solids, the places of atoms, molecules or ions, or you can say the network of molecules or atoms or ions will change with the change of direction. Is it clear? After that, I am coming to the liquid. You all know very well that in liquid state of the matter, the atoms or molecules or ions are very far apart as compared to the solids. That's why they have a definite volume but not have the definite shape or size. Similarly, in case of gases, and one point is of plasma. First, I am discussing the case of plasma because it is very new concept for you. Plasma is basically the ionized gas. Second name of plasma is ionized gas. When there will be an ionized gas, at compressible ionized gas, then that state of matter is known as plasma. Okay, and in case of Bose-Einstein condensate, you know in the already done in case of the statistical thermodynamics and statistical physics, that there are basically two states, Fermi-Dirac and Bose-Einstein's. Clear? Bose-Einstein condensate or plasma-gluon quark states. They are basically the quarks like charge, top, bottom, up, down, top. Okay, they are basically 5 quarks, and gluons. Gluons are basically the chains by which the quarks are bind up. बाइंडिंग स्टेट में जो रहते हैं क्वार्क्स, उनको जो बांधने के लिए एक चेन लगी है, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? ग्लूओन्स. इज इट क्लियर? नाउ नेक्स्ट आई एम डिस्कसिंग on the main focus in entire syllabus of condensed matter physics. We will study only the solids. Okay. Now further, solids are divided in many categories. That is like crystalline and amorphous. We have discussed recently. Then I am going to discuss the crystalline solids. जो क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड है, इनको फर्दर डिवाइड क्या होता है? ब्रॉड पार्ट्स में. ठीक है. मेनली देयर आर द 4 पार्ट्स इन 4 कैटेगरीज इन विच आई हैव डिवाइड द क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड्स. फर्स्ट कैटेगरी इज आयनिक सॉलिड. सेकेंड कैटेगरी इज दैट इज ऑफ मॉलिक्यूलर solids. Third category is that is of covalent solids, and the last and fourth one is metallic solids. In case of ionic solids, अब नाम से पता लग रहा होगा कि ionic solids है, that means there are the ions. Okay, the constituent particle of any ionic solids are ions. For example, sodium chloride crystal, NaCl. One is positive, another is negative. That means in this case there are the network of cations and anions. And one thing that should be remembered, that this is the hardest solids. This type of solid is hardest one. Solid in all the 4 categories. Now the question comes again, why it is so hard? Hardening होने का, hardest material होने का जिसका reason है, that depends upon its bonding. That means ionic bond is strongest bond. Okay, ionic bond is the strongest one. Due to the strongest bonding, it is very hard. And it is always insulated in solid state. Okay, in solid state, ionic solids are always behave as the insulators. They cannot pass the electricity or potential difference across them when they are present in the solid state. But in case of the solution, you can say if there we just dissolve any ionic crystal into water or in any polar solvent, then they behave as a conductor, good conductors. Okay, because they become electrolytes. Yeah. Similarly, in the melting state, and in the solution form, they behave as a electrolytes. Next, and the very important property of again that is of ionic solids are, that is we have discussed, they behave as electrolytes when they will be dissolved in polar solvent, and very good polar solvent in nature is water. Okay. After that, we will discuss about the molecular solids. Molecular solids are further divided in many parts. The main parts of the molecular solids are, first one is that is a polar solid. It is polar. Second one is non-polar, and third category is that is hydrogen bonding. The solids who have or in which there will be the hydrogen bonding, hydrogen bonded solids. Okay. मुझे लग रहा है कि आप सब सोच रहे होंगे कि केमिस्ट्री कहाँ से शुरू होगी ना. एक्चुअली में ये जो पूरा का पूरा सॉलिड स्टेट्स का कोर्स है, ठीक है, नो डाउट इट इज डिपेंडेंट अपॉन द स्ट्रक्चर, एंड स्ट्रक्चर इज वेरी मच फेमिलियर विद द केमिस्ट्री. That's why we have to first of all to discuss the some chemical points. Okay, so please be patient. Clear. Next is polar, non-polar, and hydrogen bonded solids. Polar solids. For example, a very good example of a polar solid is like SO2. Yeah? देखो जब पोलर सॉलिड्स की बात आई है तो हमें पता लग रहा है कि इसमें क्या होंगे पोलर मॉलिक्यूल्स. पोलैरिटी. क्लियर. पोलैरिटी कम्स फ्रॉम द सेपरेशन ऑफ द पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव चार्ज. When there will be the separation of positive and negative charge, then there is the concept of polar solids, or you can say polarity. Dipole moments will come. Okay, and you know that when a charge, you can say, जब भी किसी चार्ज पार्टिकल्स या चार्ज मॉलिक्यूल्स की सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी डिस्टर्ब होगी तो उसमें क्या होगा, सेपरेशन ऑफ पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव चार्ज. जो सेपरेशन होगा पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव चार्ज का, उससे आगे क्या क्रिएट होंगे, डाइपोल्स. और अगर डाइपोल्स क्रिएट होंगे तो वहां पे क्या क्रिएट होगी, डाइपोल मूवमेंट्स. तो वहां पे हमारे पास क्या टाइप के सॉलिड्स आ रहे हैं, दैट इज ऑफ पोलर सॉलिड्स. इन ब्रीफ I am again explaining it. Let us suppose there is a positive charge and around this there will be the revolution of electrons. That means negative charge will be surrounded towards the positive charge. इस टाइम पे टोटल चार्ज मॉलिक्यूल का या एटम का क्या है, 0. But when I disturb this electronic cloud, then it will be distorted in shape, and at this point there will be the creation of positive and negative charge. और इस क्रिएशन ऑफ पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव चार्ज को हम क्या बोलेंगे, दैट इज ऑफ पोलर मॉलिक्यूल्स. इजंट इट? सिमिलरली इन केस ऑफ नॉन पोलर molecules are basically not permanently polar molecules. They behave as a polar molecules for a very short interval of time. That means there is a case of induced dipole moment. And in non-polar molecules, we always discuss the van der Waals forces of attraction. That's again very important concept or very important forces in case of the solids. Okay, van der Waals forces is so much weak force. That is the weakest force. It varies with 6th power of the distance between the positive and negative charge. Next one is the hydrogen bonded solids. In case of hydrogen bonded solids, there is a concept of hydrogen bonding. अगर थोड़ी सी फिलॉसफी याद हो तो हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग 2 टाइप्स की होती है. वन इज ऑफ इंटरमोलिकुलर एंड सेकेंड वन इज ऑफ इंट्रामोलिकुलर हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग. दैट इज इन केस ऑफ hydrogen bonding, it is divided in 2 parts. First is intermolecular hydrogen bonding and second one is that is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. What is the main difference between intermolecular and intramolecular? Intermolecular hydrogen bonding is among the molecules, but intramolecular hydrogen bonding is always in a single molecule. Okay, that means it is among the molecules. That means the number of molecules will be greater than 1. But in case of intramolecular hydrogen bonding, there is only a single molecule. Okay, I am just give you a short review for intermolecular and intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Let us suppose one thing is always remembered, that in case of intermolecular hydrogen bonding, when any atom, which atom whose electronegativity is very high, is bonded with hydrogen atom, only then intermolecular hydrogen bonding will come into the role. Okay, for example, oxygen, nitrogen and fluorine. These 3 atoms are very high in electronegativity. highest electronegativity is fluorine. Okay, let us suppose I am taking a material or molecule of hydrogen fluoride, HF. H and F, it has a covalent bond between this molecule, but again, if I take another molecule of hydrogen fluoride, further another molecule of hydrogen fluoride, then fluorine, which is partially negative, and hydrogen is partially positive. Why? Because fluorine is more electronegative element as compared to the hydrogen. That's why it will attract slightly to this hydrogen, and this fluorine again slightly attracts to the next hydrogen atom of another molecule. This attraction between positive and negative charge is known as intermolecular hydrogen bonding. But in case of intramolecular hydrogen bonding, let us suppose an example of you can say phenol. Remember phenol? Okay, OH group on the benzene ring, and there are hydrogen atoms. Clear? You can also take the nitrophenol. Okay, that is a orthonitrophenol. Clear? Now this nitrogen and this hydrogen again makes a slight attraction, that is a bond for this electronegativity, high electronegativity, and for its low electronegativity as compared to nitrogen. This behaves in a single molecule. That means this is in a single molecule. That's why this is known as the intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Clear? Now next category of the solids is of covalent solids. Let me take a chalk. Next one is that is a crystalline solid. Sorry, crystal I am saying, that is covalent. A covalent solid. Again, for understanding of covalent bonds or covalent solids, you should know about a covalent bond. Covalent bond is basically due to the mutual sharing of two electrons. Okay, ध्यान से सुनना है. एक एग्जांपल इसमें दे रहा हूँ. एक हाइड्रोजन का एटम यहाँ पे, एक हाइड्रोजन का एटम यहाँ पे. ये इसमें एक इलेक्ट्रॉन अपनी शेल में रिवॉल्व कर रहा है, इधर से एक इलेक्ट्रॉन इसमें अपनी शेल में रिवॉल्व कर रहा है. The electronic configuration of this hydrogen atom is 1s1. Again, the electronic configuration of this hydrogen atom is also 1s1. When there is only one electron in the H subshell, it is not much stable. Okay, you very well know in H subshell there can be maximum of 2 electrons, and when it will be fully filled, it is more stable. Now, for acquiring more stability, it wants one electron, and again this also wants one electron to become stable. Then what will they do? They will share the electrons in their outermost shell. जब शेयरिंग होगी तो उस टाइम पे क्या होगा कि इस तरह का केस बन जाएगा, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन यहाँ पे, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन यहाँ पे. You cannot distinguish that which electron is of which atom for this one or this one. That means both the electrons to this hydrogen atom and both the electrons for this hydrogen atom. That means there is the concept of mutual sharing of two electrons, always two. Okay, तो जो ये इलेक्ट्रॉन से शेयरिंग से बॉन्ड बना, ये इंटरेक्शन हुई है, इस इंटरेक्शन को हम क्या बोलते हैं? That is of covalent bonds. ओके, और जिन मटेरियल्स में, जिन सॉलिड्स में कोवलेंट बॉन्डिंग आती है, उन सॉलिड्स को हम क्या बोलते हैं? That is covalent solids. The main examples of this categories of the solid is of, that is graphite and diamond. You all know that diamond is the hardest material in nature, where graphite is less hard. Why it is so? Due to their structure. Okay, there is not a concept of the bonding or weak or strong bonding because both graphite and diamond acquires covalent bonding. But why again there will be a change in the physical properties, not in chemical properties, due to the structure. Okay, the structure of graphite is different from the structure of diamond. Is it clear? Okay, fine. Chalo. Next and last category is of metallic solids. In metal, there will always the concept of metallic bonds. Metallic bonds basically होता क्या, पहले इसको समझना है, फिर आगे हम आएंगे. That is in case of metallic solids. In case of metal, there will be the sea of electrons. That means electrons are loosely bound to the positive charged ions. यहाँ पे मैंने बोला positive charged ions. Okay. For example, in case of a metal, there are basically the positive charged kernels. इसके अंदर वाला पार्ट सारा का सारा किसको रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है? इनर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. क्लियर? पर जो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आउटर मोस्ट शेल में रिवॉल्व कर रहे हैं, क्लियर, दे आर बेसिकली वैलेंस शेल इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. ओके, अब मैं क्या कह रहा हूं, वैलेंस शेल इलेक्ट्रॉन्स या आउटर मोस्ट शेल के इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को छोड़कर इस पूरे पार्ट का जो ये रीजन बचा, इसका चार्ज क्या होगा? दैट इज पॉजिटिव. अंडरस्टूड? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, if I take there are the 19 protons, that we know that there are 19 electrons for a neutral atom. अब इसमें मैं सिंपल से एग्जांपल से कह देता हूँ कि 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन बाहर रिवॉल्व कर रहे हैं और बाकी के बचे 17 इलेक्ट्रॉन वो इनर शेल पे आ रहे हैं. क्लियर? तो ये वाला पार्ट पूरा का पूरा 19 प्लस -17, that is 2 plus. It is positive charge and this part is again minus of 2. That means this part of atom is known as the positive charge kernels. This is positive charge kernels. The interaction between positive charge kernels and outermost shell electrons, again electrostatic force of attraction, and this attraction is known as the metallic bond. Okay, and in all the metals there is a basically concept of metallic bonds. Why? Because outermost shell electrons are very very far away as compared to the nucleus. Okay, तो आज का जो मेन पॉइंट था उसमें हमने क्या डिस्कस किया? सॉलिड, that is of crystalline solids, amorphous solids, their properties, why they are different, and distinguishing between on the network. Clear? Further we have discussed about the categories of the solids. ठीक है, how many categories of solids are there? Mainly 4: ionic, covalent, metallic and hydrogen bonded. Is it clear? उसके बाद में सारा का सारा इनमें क्या डिफरेंस है, कैसे कैसे होता है, ये सारा आज हमने डिस्कस किया इन केस ऑफ सॉलिड्स. नेक्स्ट आई विल स्टार्ट. ओके, थैंक यू.